Hey there guys, how are you doing? I'm back in the car for this one, and this is the DrivingMaul review of the Africa 1 Super Rugby Conference. So the Stormers topped the group. They complained that they had not had the opportunity to play the Kiwi sides during the season, but as they lost to the Sharks, Lions and Tigers, you can't think that they would have gained anything from those games. The only playoff side they did beat were the Brumbies at home. There has been talk about sacking the coach, but that would be unfair as he was appointed at the last minute due to Eddie Jones going to England and has little experience at this level. He'll be better off for this season, but with Koch and Berger on the way out, will he be able to find suitable replacements? We'll just have to wait and see. Next up came the Bulls. Losing Pollard before the season had even started was always going to mean it was going to be tough. But you don't expect the Bulls scrum going backwards in the wet and losing to the Jaguares over in Argentina. That really did end their season. It really was a way that they came unstuck, losing to the Tars, Brumbies and the Jaguares all overseas. This has been a perennial problem for them, and it's something they really need to get some help with to sort out, because it's not you're not going to have any long-term Super Rugby success if you can't win on tour sometimes. Next came the Cheetahs, and there was really a bit of a gap between the top two, with the Bulls were actually challenging for that playoff position, whereas the Cheetahs and the Sunwolves, the bottom half, really just weren't ever in the hunt at all. Again, the Cheetahs lost their best players to the Bulls in the off-season, and there has to be a bit of a question mark around the pipeline that the Bulls have and their academy processes if they're having to go and raid other teams constantly. They did manage 4 wins, but they were over the Sunwolves twice, the Kings and the Force at home, so all teams that never really had any hope of making the playoffs and were automatic wins for the top teams. Back in 2013, they did look good making the playoffs, but since then they have been poor, and you can't see how they will get back to that one-off year's performance with that player drain consistently. They need to find a way of holding on to their players, and really, until they start doing that, we're not going to see any improvement over at the Cheetahs. Last in the group came the Sunwolves. I've written about their woes before, and they only registered 1 win over the Jaguars and a draw against the Stormers. Basically, it was the administration side of things that really let them down. They didn't know who their players or their coach were until the last minute. I think Hamlet had something like Hamlet had something like 2, maybe 3 weeks at most of pre-season. And he did a decent job with the cards he was dealt. But he is returning to New Zealand next season to be an assistant coach at the Highlanders. I don't think the next year's coach has been announced yet, and so hopefully they get it announced early so he can sort things out. If they leave it to the last minute again, we're just going to see another poor season from Sunwolves. If they get themselves organised early, then we could see some improvement. They're not going to challenge the playoffs next year, but at least they could be competitive in a few more of their games. Hopefully, I don't know if they're going to continue the Singapore part of their so-called home season, but looking at the fans they get to turn out in Japan, it's a shame that they have to miss out on nearly half their home games being over in Singapore. Hopefully that won't continue. If it's building for a team in Singapore long term, then I can see some benefit. But to lose all that many games for their Japanese fans does seem harsh. So I can't see a lot of upside for this conference next year, because both the Sunwolves and the Cheetahs I can't see progressing that much. The Stormers should be a bit better on the coaching side as they get more used to running teams at this level, and let's just see whether the Bulls can get back to somewhere near their former glory.